What's up? Welcome back to the channel. Last video was a POV video that I took October 12th of 2022. It was my first time doing a POV video, so go watch that video. It seems to be a lot of people's favorites. It was on my old channel. I took it down and re-uploaded to this channel. Today I want to go through and talk about some of the images that I took that I was interested in, and I do have a gallery of my favorite photos from that shoot at my website down below, spencerscottpugh.photos, that you can check out. I have a little bit more photos that we're going to walk through today, and as I talk about my process here and why I didn't pick certain photos and maybe what was standing out to me at the time I was taking those photos in real time. So if you haven't seen the photo walk, the POV video, you can go watch it. I'll link it right here. So if you're new to the channel, we talk about all things photography here. I have a main channel that, revolves around tech and minimalism, which you can check out in the description down below. But this is all about photography, about process, about POV videos, stuff like that. So if you're a photographer, if you're into photography, that's my dog, make sure to subscribe to the channel and like this video if you enjoy. Without further ado, let's dive into the photo walk from October of last year. So this is the first photo in the POV video that I snapped. I was just getting ready, trying to get my settings straight. This photo might actually be illegal, I'm not sure, because I'm taking a picture of someone at an ATM. Is that illegal? Maybe. This is, I'm still cutting my teeth in the street photography world. I think a lot of times I see a person, I snap their photo, right? I'm not thinking so much about composition or anything. I'm just seeing a person, maybe they stand out to me and I'm snapping a photo. I don't know, but this is the first photo. I decided to keep it because one thing I do want to do is sort of celebrate my journey, right? And be able to look back and see, how bad photos were at the start, how far I've come, kind of thing. I'm not saying this is a bad photo. I don't think it's a good photo, but this is just the first one that I took. As we move along, this is pretty neat. I'll kind of get in here and I'll color a little bit, which is what I did last time, which is super fun. I took this photo before, so there's two of these photos, but this guy was coming to get in his car and I just wanted to capture him. I love this sign, you need a biscuit. I think it's hilarious. I want to find a way to take this photo with like a really skinny person standing in front of it or something like that. It's funny, and I could see it being like a situational kind of comedy situation for a photo. But I liked this photo. Again, it's not the best, but the hero of the image does become that sign, not that guy walking to his car. But I do like sometimes getting a picture of a scene and then trying to find the human element within that scene. I don't hate this image. I think it's pretty cool. These people walking, they both have, that triangle step, that perfect step, and they're in line together. So I don't hate the image. It's just probably a little bit wider than it should be. Again, in these photos, I'm shooting on a Ricoh GR3, so it has that 28 millimeter focal length, I think, if I remember correctly. But we move on. This guy was walking. I don't know why, but I have a thing of photographing USPS people for some reason. There was a lot that was sticking out to me in this scene, and I wish I had played on all of these markings more. These are like water pipes and electrical, I'm guessing, and sewage and all that kind of pipes, spray paint on the ground. And it's over this entire square and way more this way too. I was trying to get him, I don't know. This was in the video. I don't think I really landed any sort of particular shot here. I liked the way this shadow was cutting across, but I don't know. Not the best image, which is fine. I'm just out shooting. This is probably the hero image of the entire gallery. This was the thumbnail of the video that has been doing really well on the channel, the POV video. I love this. I think it's a little overexposed, right? I'm shooting JPEG straight out of the camera, but it's a little overexposed in these highlight sections. But I do like this shadow. This red pops, and I think that's really what sells this image as a thumbnail on the channel and what people are attracted to and why they're clicking on it. As we're moving along here, this was an image I was trying to get. This is a storefront. There were these two plants sort of like framing this door. It was all in shadow. I kept trying. There's like a covering above this walkway, and there's a small, like maybe 2 to 3 feet area where sun can come through. And I was trying to capture people in that sunlight. This is probably the best one I was able to get. Not great. She's checking her watch. I think it's funny that her sleeve is covering her, like she can't see her watch, which is funny to me. And she didn't even try to fix it. She was just like, and it was funny. But I think that's a cool thing with street photography too, is a lot of times things are happening in real time and you snap a picture remembering what happened, but people looking at this don't know that story. One of my favorite shots was a guy giving a homeless person food, and then the homeless person said like, hey, give me some cash for dessert or something like that. And it was really funny, the interaction, and the guy was like, dude, I just gave you like an entire meal, literally. Which an interesting conversation between humans in general, but it was sort of comical at the same time. And I think the homeless guy was kind of joking as well, but I snapped a picture of it, but you can't know that from the picture, right? It's just a guy handing food to someone, right? This was just, I love the play on the light here against this picture. Not much more to say about it. You know, another thing I guess I noticed with my eye as I was taking this is there's like brown, 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 and then there's like some green that sort of matches the building green. That was interesting. Again, not a crazy photograph by any means, but I enjoyed what I was seeing, so I snapped a photo of it. This was just like this crazy red, I guess it's a Saab, you know, driving by, which Saabs aren't super common to see either. This was also sort of I do have it. So it was a collection of photos that sort of told a story. So this is what caught my eye, why I took the photo. This dude is just standing here on his phone. And then this lady starts to approach him, and you'll see there was a photo in between this. And then she's like reaching out for something, right? And I didn't know what she was doing, but then I realized she's reaching for her scarf here in his hand. And they knew each other. So that was like a pretty funny story that unraveled, but again, you can't really tell in photos unless I took a series and played them along. I put this one in here because it's not a good photo, but what happened was I liked this mom and this kid, right? And I wanted to get their picture, but shooting on the Ricoh, it's such a wide angle. I was probably like 10 feet away, but that's as good as the picture got. And as I got closer, she was like looking at me like, what the heck are you doing? So I wasn't able to get the picture I wanted. And that's what happens, you know, with a fixed lens camera. You just have to work with what you have, right? And the focal length that you have. You can always crop in, right? And tell that story. It's not that great of an image. Smoking for a lot of people is kind of like a theme, a motif, if you will. It's really cool when you can get people smoking and there's a lot of smoke, maybe hiding, you know, bits and pieces of their person, making them more anonymous. I didn't even know she was puffing out the smoke in this picture. I just saw her walking by, and, you know, elements of this I kind of liked. And then this random dude doing his march, whatever. Again, not a great photo. I don't love it, but I was learning. I was just pointing, shooting everything. Here's a series of images that I did love. First and foremost, I know you see it, but USPS truck and like what's going on, right? I mean, it was October 12th, so this starts to make a little more sense if you know that, but these dudes thought I was taking their photo. She walked in front, so there's an interesting thing, in my opinion, going on with, you know, these leading lines, these dudes, this is like becoming the subject, not really in this picture in my opinion, but you just see all of these elements, right? And I don't know that it's a great composition whatsoever, but I'm noticing these elements as I'm taking them in real time. And then they sort of have this nice movement in front of me, still walking along that, you know, those leading lines. And then this actually became like my favorite picture of the three. UPS is in there, right? And then I wish this elbow wasn't in here. I mean, you could edit it out, but I'm more of what you get is what you get from an image, and that's why I love shooting JPEG, by the way. But I love this. Like, what? This is really funny to me and kind of spooky a little bit. I think if this person was wearing something else not Halloween-esque, like a Michael Myers suit or something, it'd be way scarier. But I like that image. Again, it's nothing like fantastic, but to me it's funny. And throwing in USPS there as well. There's that same dude from earlier, still delivering packages. I liked this picture, kind of just him against this big, boring building with tons of angles. You know, when you're shooting in a city, there's always lots of angles. I mean, you have rigid buildings, right? So that's something that becomes a motif, becomes a theme throughout street photography. These guys, I was trying to find an image here. They were talking. They seem like two very different types of people talking, but they seem like they really knew each other, which I enjoyed. Again, you wouldn't get that really from this image. It didn't really turn out, but I took it. This picture is just kind of funny because it's a BMW, I think, or no, a Volkswagen electric vehicle, which I think is awesome. So I wanted to take a picture of the car, and I wanted to kind of get like an over the shoulder as she's driving away kind of shot here, but then she ended up turning and looking at me with a nice little "what are you doing" kind of smile on her face, and I just thought that was a funny image. I don't know. This was cool. I liked her walking. I don't like cutting off people's feet if I can help it ever in photos, and when they get dangerously close to the edge of the photo, I don't like that either. You know, this was just interesting to me. She was wearing a pretty cool outfit. Her headphone thing was swinging, so you have this like angle. I don't know. This was a bit more interesting to me because this person was right here, but it's kind of hard to tell what's going on, especially with how dark that framing is. I think if, you know, if this was a bit lighter, if this area was a bit lighter and you could really see her silhouette right there, that picture would make a lot more sense to me. That's what I was going after, right? But it just didn't present itself. This was just another pop-up red with Ricoh, with Fujifilm too. There's this huge like love of these sort of reds that these cameras can put out. And I was leaning into that for this image here, but this was just a stupid spigot doing nothing. So I took like 10 photos of this thing trying to make an image. It just didn't happen. This building is just like beautiful. I love this intricate design here. I think if I remember correctly, it was either this building or another one where there was just a brick facade and they took away the brick and like this type of stuff was underneath it, which is crazy. I just liked this building. I took another photo of it as well in portrait. I just like the building. So simple as that. This one's cool. Not as cool as I would like it to be. I tried to just get this silhouette of this scooter rider perfectly timed in the door, and I did. And I'm not shooting in burst mode in this POV walk, but I was able to snap her perfectly. It's not the perfect image ever, and you can't really tell her face because there's these black areas in the window. It would be better if her face was more so like over here to the left just a little bit in that curtain, but then she wouldn't be centered, right? So you can kind of see the process of what I'm seeing and what I'm trying to do, but I'm missing a lot, and that is a lot of what street photography is. This, you can see what I was trying to do. You have this shadow situation going on here, right? And I wish I had caught this dude over here in the light, or like half and half. I kind of wish that the light was coming straight down the middle. If I'd have gotten there a little bit later, I think it would have been. But I wanted to catch him here, and I was just waiting for someone to walk by, and I kind of missed it. But I do like how, where's the dude's head? It's just a box. I still kind of like that image just because it's funny, but nothing crazy. Here, I just liked all the texture. I liked all this red spray paint or whatever that is. Just an alleyway shot. Getting near Christmas, or getting near Halloween, these people are just super spooky for some reason. They're like a plumbing and heating place, but like, look how creepy, dude. So unsettling, and like, why babies? And anyway, whatever. This, again, just that pop of red against Perkinson Law Office. Shout out Perkinson Law Office if you're watching this video. I took a bunch of these photos because I was trying to figure out where the image was here. I liked the red against the deep black against this, you know, kind of white building, which obviously they designed it to be that way. I'm just taking a photo of it, but this is the best I could come up with, centering the image, or the subject again, as I love to do. There's me. Don't love this photo of me, but every so often I take a good mirror selfie. So that was pretty neat. This was one of the last images. As I was coming down the sidewalk, there was a lot of people passing by me, and this one just showed life, right? I don't know. Nothing really special here at all. But I like this dude walking, whatever. I've taken this photo a few times. I don't know why, I just love the 4 flags, and there are way better days to take this photo when they're all unfurled and flapping in the wind, but I always just tend to raise my camera and snap it when I see it, even if I get a stupid image like this. But that's the final image that I wanted to share with you all today. If these videos are informative to you all, if you want me to do more of them, let me know in the comments below. If you have any opinions, suggestions throughout these videos, drop a timestamp in your comment and say, hey, this photo was cool, but maybe try this next time, or I like the way this looked, or I've tried to do that before as well and it's really hard to get that kind of image, right? I'd love to make this more of a channel where there's just open communication back and forth, and we can just talk about photography and our process and everything together. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed, watch this one. I think you're gonna love it. Smash subscribe and like the video, which helps the algorithms tell the algorithms that this channel is something worth subscribing to. I just appreciate you all so much for watching. I love this channel, I love you all, and I'll see you in the next video.